What is up, design family, and welcome back to another episode of Fit Design TV. So glad to have you guys back on the channel. On today's episode, I'm going to be answering the age-old question: as a fashion brand, should you be offering free shipping to your customers? Does it make sense to offer free shipping? So in this episode, I'm going to discuss 3 key things to actually consider as a brand before you go into shipping, so that it makes sense for you, where you're at, what target market you're essentially trying to hit, and ultimately, does it make economical sense? And then we'll look at, if you are going to offer free shipping, what are the pros and the cons? So that way, by the end of this episode, you're going to walk away with a much better understanding of what are the key factors you need to consider, and ultimately whether this is going to be the right decision for your brand to acquire a full and competent and loyal customer base that's going to be with you collection after collection, drop after drop. Welcome to Fit Design TV. Are you interested in sports fashion, design, and manufacturing? Are you establishing your own brand? You're looking good. Anthony, how are we doing? Do you want to? Thank you. Well, you've come to the right place. Lights, camera, action. So what are the core things that you should actually be considering before actually implementing a free shipping policy? Well, number 1 is you need to consider your economics, consider your funds. You need to know what your cost of goods sold is and ultimately what you're charging your customers. So if your cost of goods is $20 for a t-shirt, but you're selling it for $40, sure, you're making a $20 profit. Let's factor in the fact that it might cost you $15 to actually ship out your product. If a person purchases 1 t-shirt, you're making a $5 gross profit on that item. That's not even factoring your marketing costs. So quickly, you can find yourself actually making a tremendous number of sales, but the economics of your business don't allow it to make sense financially. And each sale is actually eroding not only on your bottom line, but actually on your cash reserves. And you can find yourself quickly in the red simply by actually operating as a successful business, generating a ton of different sales each day. Number 2 is you actually need to be able to accurately analyze what these same competitors in your space are doing. So just because a competitor is or is not offering free shipping to their customers, this does not necessarily mean that this is a key of success. At the end of the day, it goes way beyond just the aspect of free shipping. You want people to actually be benefiting from the quality of service that you're offering, from the quality of product. There's no point in offering free shipping for a product that is not up to standard or not up to par. So most customers, and the types of customers that you're ultimately going to want are going to value quality and customer experience and overall retention over the idea of core savings. Really, you don't want to be operating in a basis where the customer only cares about the bottom line of the product. Sure, that should always be a consideration, but free shipping does not always guarantee the fact that you're going to have a successful business, because if just pure savings was the core idea, well, then everyone would just slash the prices and it would be a war to the death. So consider your customer base, consider what your competitors are doing, and actually consider offering free shipping not as an all-out thing. You might offer tiered free shipping. So maybe if they spend over $100, then they get access to free shipping. Maybe it's a promotional thing, maybe it's a seasonal thing, it's on Black Friday, maybe it's on Christmas, maybe it's on other types of sales. You're able to A/B test with free shipping and without free shipping and see what actually makes sense for your business. Maybe your customers are not sensitive to the idea of free shipping, so this may not be something you have to offer at all. Use your competitors' examples to your advantage and test and see if this is the right decision for you. Last but not least, when it comes to what you should consider before offering your shipping, is the type of customer that is going to be buying from you. There's going to be a couple different types of customers to consider, but at the core, is this a customer that is extremely price sensitive? Are these people that are solely interested in getting the cheapest and the best offer available? Then maybe free shipping might be an option for you. It might be something that's going to further entice these customers. But bear in mind, here you're going to be operating at lower margins. You're going to also be finding yourself where you're going to have to play a numbers game. Versus if you're offering a luxury product, a product that is meant to operate on the high end, then maybe these customers, since they're more used to spending a higher amount per basket, are going to be willing to spend the money on the shipping. Also, you don't only have to offer a standardized shipping. Let's just say you're operating as a luxury brand. Maybe you offer free standard shipping for customers, but if they purchase over a certain amount, then you offer your express shipping. So this is another example of tailoring your shipping methods and using different types of shipping methods to entice customers to buy more from you. Now, we've discussed the 3 core things to actually consider when you're looking at whether or not you should offer free shipping. What are the pros and cons? Let's just say today, you as brand XYZ actually choose to implement free shipping. What are some pros that you can expect? Well, number 1 is that customers obviously love it. Who doesn't like free things? Whether you're operating on the higher end or you're operating on the lower end, the added value of free shipping is just one less thing that your customers are going to use as an objection point as to not purchase from you. 2 is that you ultimately are able to gain a competitive advantage over similar competitors in your space. Yes, again, this is going to be one added benefit for your brand in relationship to the existing brands on the market. So it's an extra mark towards your favor. Number 3 is that it allows you to compete with traditional retailers. One of the core benefits of actually being able to buy directly from a retailer on a high street is that you can just go in and you can pick what you want and you can walk away with it without having to worry about an added shipping cost. Well, the same is true here as an online brand if you were to offer free shipping. You would be eliminating this idea completely from your customer's mind, and it would, minus the delivery time, be treated the same. If you want to buy something, all you're paying for is the actual product itself and not the added shipping cost. Number 4 is that typically what we've seen in terms of our sales data analytics is that free shipping always manages to reduce the number of abandoned carts. So the abandoned cart is a customer that comes on your website that will go ahead, they'll browse, they'll add to cart, but they won't proceed with the transaction. Well, free shipping will usually decrease the amount of abandoned carts that you see on a week-to-week and month-to-month basis. Number 5 is that free shipping also typically increases the average basket size of customers that are operating on a website with free shipping. Why is this? Well, if you look at most core traditional e-commerce retailers, the larger your order is, the heavier the shipment is going to be. The heavier the shipment is going to be, the more the shipping price is going to increase. So there is a correlation between order size and the amount of shipping you're going to pay. Versus when you have free shipping, people are like, okay, so it's not going to matter what my actual shipping size is, right? Or what the weight of my shipment is. So I might as well just order more so I can benefit from this free shipping. At the same time, if you look at most retailers, if they offer tiered shipping, where if you spend over $100, you get shipping, well, that also helps towards growing your customers' order or their average basket size. Now, we've discussed the pros. This wouldn't be a Fit Design TV episode without actually giving you a balanced view and discussing the cons. So number 1, when it comes to the cons, is going to be that it's going to affect your bottom line. I've expressed this before, that your margin is going to be what you charge for the product minus the cost of goods sold. This is going to be another piece in the puzzle that you have to factor in when it comes to your bottom line. It's going to eat away at your profit margins. Number 2 is that it could potentially force you to have to increase your product prices. So why is this? Well, again, we discussed the idea of the bottom line. You may have to compensate for that by increasing your core product price. That way, you're able to have a healthy margin, but that's going to artificially inflate the prices of your products. So it depends on how price sensitive your customer is. Number 3 is that it undoubtedly will alter customer behavior, whether this is for the good or for the bad. So whether it's the negative or the positive, it does alter your customer behavior. And as a brand, it may create a little bit of confusion, at least from an initial standpoint. You may notice customers are sort of interacting with your website and your products in ways that you didn't quite expect. Number 4 is that, unfortunately, the idea of free shipping also entices customers to go ahead and return their products more often, because typically with free shipping, you would offer free returns. So because that idea is right there, it is going to be used by a majority of customers. So free shipping does bring with it the added headache of more returns. So more shipping that you have to pay for, more administrative costs that you have to pay for, more time and effort spent in order to serve your customer. Number 5 is that if you're a high street brand, so that means that you have a retail shop and you're paying rent on that retail shop, your online shop offering free shipping could definitely decrease the performance of your high street or your actual physical retail store. Sure, at the end of the day, you're going to have a more efficient process operating online. But if you are paying your rent, you're offering your staff, you've created this store that you have invested tons of money into, well, you are going to notice a lower revenue in that store. So what I'm noticing a lot of brands are doing now is they're tending to downsize their stores, or to actually downsize the number of stores they have on offer. But each store tends to be a little bit bigger and it offers more of an experiential view. It offers a type of experience that you can't get on the online store. This is always a plus, so it depends on how you spin it. And number 6 is obviously the more shipments you're running, the worse the environment gets. The more shipments you're running, the more planes, right? The more carbon dioxide is emitted, so on and so forth. And ultimately, this is going to have somewhat of a negative effect on the environment, just because you're enticing people to even purchase more often, and smaller shipments may have to happen, as opposed to them consolidating their entire order in one shipment. They make multiple shipments for that same order. Well guys, that is it. That is a wrap on this episode. This has been my comprehensive breakdown of whether you as a fashion brand should be considering to offer free shipping or not. Let me know what decision you ultimately end up taking. If you have any questions that you would like to follow up with anything that I've said today. Guys, from the very bottom of my heart, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Fit Design TV. Also, I do get this question asked quite often, which is, Shadi, do you offer consultations for fashion brands? I'm looking to start my own brand. I'm unsure of where to start. I'm unsure of how to stand out in a very saturated market. Well, I can help answer these questions and much, much more. So if you're interested in booking a one-on-one private consultation with me, check the link in the description. My slots are limited, but I do offer them. So check the link and we'll make that happen. Guys, from the very bottom of my heart, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Fit Design TV. Until next week's episode, stay awesome.